Welcome to my card art. Here I am making you always one-of-a-kind cards or some sort of a idea, and it's here to motivate you and help you create your own cards or whatever I'm making. Please subscribe and glad to have you. I really appreciate your feedbacks, your support, and thank you for that. All right, so here we go. Are you ready? We're going to be making little note cards with butterflies. And I will show you this concept where you're going to be able to use pretty much any size card, but I'm going to make these on a smaller level. See, you could choose any color and any paper. It doesn't have to be cardstock. It could actually be regular paper. I do have a punch here that's a butterfly punch and another one that is a sentiment punch. And these are long items here that are used for flower parts for the stamen of the flower. But you know me, I'm not using it for that. It's going to be for butterfly parts. Those punches are from Stampin Up, and they help a lot with this project. And of course, I have my double-sided tape. I have punched out several little butterflies from a different color cardstock that is complementary to the one I'm using. And you know that I always like to do a little bit of extra punches or extra embellishments just in case if I goof. And you will see I will be goofing. So I will be showing you how to correct something and also some of the tricks on how you're going to be making this card. This is the leftover paper that I used for my butterflies. And I'm cutting out, just freehanded, the body of the butterfly. With this project, you could put the body on the butterfly or you can leave it off. It's really up to you. And I didn't hand draw it. I just kind of made it look like the body of a butterfly. So there's really no special way of doing it, just a wavy line. That's it. You could make it 3-segmented, or if your butterfly is 1 long segment or 2 segments, no big deal. All right, so see those two? You see how they have a little bit of a bulb on top? That's what is used for the middle of flowers. When you make a flower and you want to make it really nice looking. But here, I'm not using it for that. I'm using it for the butterfly, for the antennae. See? And I am using the double-sided tape because this is like a little metal piece that's in there, so it has a hard time sticking together. And so I have to twist it and turn it. By the way, those antennae are also called feelers for the butterfly because they feel where they're going. And it's also a sensory organ because obviously they're feeling things with it. See, and what I did here is I just twisted a little bit and I'm securing it twice. And this is one of the ideas I want to give you here when you're putting that piece on. Definitely secure it twice onto your project, your paper, wherever you're using it. Now here I'm going to layer with glue, with my Nuvo Glue, another butterfly on top because you want to cover that. It doesn't look pretty like that, so don't leave it like that. It also helps to hold it in place. Now here is where my tricks are going to be coming in. And keep in mind, I've never made this before, so literally I'm inventing this card, this little note card as I'm going along. And you will see my error on here that I will be doing, and it's going to help you out when you will be making your little note card, so stay tuned. So what I'm trying to do here is just put a little bit of glue, but if you'll notice, later on you will see I put too much. Watch. You won't know here, but bear with me. It's going to come up shortly. And I'm pressing down the butterfly wing because I want to have half that wing on both sides, 1/2 here and 1/2 there, still pop up. And that's very important for what we're going to be doing. And I'm putting a little body on the butterfly. And again, that piece you can totally leave off. Now, I made it the same color. You can make it a dark black color, but I didn't want too many colors because of what I was creating here and what I had in my mind. So I made it the same color. But again, you can leave that piece off and you'll see in a moment why. And of course, if you get glue on your fingers, definitely take it off because you don't want to be sticking everywhere that you don't want to stick to. And you know me, I always cap them so it doesn't dry out. All right, so here's my simple note card. I'm just folding it. You don't need to score. You don't need any special, objects or anything else to do this. Just fold it. See how easy that is? Okay, so get a good crease on it. And kind of figure out where your butterfly will be going, where the middle part is going to be. Okay, now here's a little thought that I had. This is what we're doing here. So watch, I'm going to use that punch right there to cut out roughly where the middle of that butterfly will be going. Just like so. And if you don't have a punch, you can use a scissor to cut it out. You can use X-Acto knives, but I just had the punch, so I'm using this. And I'm going to be lifting off the wings of the butterfly because I had this idea. What would happen if the butterfly would be serving as an enclosure for the card? See, watch. And I didn't want to cut this out of the video. I wanted you to see what happens if the distance of the wings of the butterfly is too far apart when you compare it to that slit that you are opening. So you can have two choices. You can make the slit bigger, or you can redo your butterfly. And you'll see in a moment why. So I'm trying to get both wings in there. I'm trying to have that go underneath the wings, but you see that? I added too much glue. And this is why I wanted to keep this part in this video. And again, I was inventing this as I was going along. So I'm taking off the body of the butterfly. That looks scary, but I promise it didn't hurt the butterfly. And you can always fix it. There's no wrongdoing, you guys. If you have an art project and you make a boo-boo, it's all right. You can always fix it. So here, I'm just redoing and re-gluing that wing. I wanted to initially have it pop up. No big deal. Just glue it back down. Don't panic. Don't try to pry it open. It won't look good. And this is why I cut extra pieces. Now watch. Look how little of the glue I'm putting on. And later on, I have an even better way of putting that wing on, and I'm going to show it to you in the video. And this is why I like Nuvo Glue, because it has a little bit of a time gap that you can literally peel back your project and you could still make it work, like here in this case. So the body goes right back on, just like so. And I'm flipping up that wing. See, like that. Because I barely wanted to have that wing glued onto the paper, but I want to have it hold strong enough that it won't come off, because this will be my enclosure of that top portion of this little note card. See? But I'm not done. There is more. And it works. I was so excited. It's like, yes. And remember, this is the first one I made. So it's not like I try to pre-make this and then do the video later and show it to you. I literally just sat down. I said, what am I going to make? Well, let's put on my camera and see what comes out of my head. So that's what I did. And I'm gluing the butterfly down. And later on, you will see I'm going to be doing it a little bit different, because I will have other projects here for you. And then I'm peeling back the wing, as my fingers are trying not to work, but it's working. Dexterity, people, dexterity. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it doesn't matter. See, look, I just thought that was so cute. You see that? This is one of the 4 ideas I'm going to show you. So stay tuned, because I will have more ideas here for you on how to do this and what you could do. So this little note card, you can write things in the middle, and it makes it perfectly good. Now watch this. If you use colored paper, you can do a different fold. Remember the one before? It was a half a fold. And look how pretty it is. Look at my little flowers around my frame just by using a different color paper. See? I thought that was so cute. So I just took some regular paper here. This is not really even cardstock. This is just decorative paper that I bought. And I folded it, and you see how it has a gap. One is folding a little bit shorter, one is folding a little longer. There is a reason for that. Don't go away. So here I have my butterfly that I've already, glued together. And I'm just showing you how I put between the 2 pieces the statement that was supposed to be for a flower, but it's not. It's now the antenna for the butterfly. When I was a little girl, I would call them eyes. I would say, Mommy, look at the butterfly eyes. They are so long. They're so pretty. I never wanted to catch them, but I just wanted to follow them all around. I've always loved butterflies. So yeah, don't punch the wrong one. So here I am back, punching just a little piece of slit right there. And I'm saving, by the way, those little pieces of paper I'm saving because I will be using that. And see, with a pattern paper, you see that number 2 in the middle as you're folding over? That is your guide. You don't have to use a pencil to mark where you're going to be gluing down your butterfly, because the pattern paper is your perfect guide. So that's another step you could save. See that number 2 right there? And I'm just making sure that if I put the butterfly right there, it works. So instead of gluing it onto the paper, because you don't know exactly how long your butterfly is, make sure you glue it on the wing. So take your tape and glue it on the wing of the butterfly, and then you don't overextend your tape and glue the rest of the card down that you did not want to. And you do want to have that fixed to your project very thoroughly, because this card will be open and closed, so you don't want it to fall off. We don't need fluttering wings where it's not needed to be. See, there's that number 2 again. I'm triple checking myself and then pressing it down. And I'm pulling the butterfly wing back again. But when I made this little butterfly, I didn't know how close the wings had to be. And see, I went too far again. I glued it down way too far again. See that? It just doesn't want to work. It's just the wing spread is too far glued down, and I need a thinner line in the middle of the wing to make it work and go into that slit. So again, what am I doing? I'm just grabbing another butterfly. This is why I cut out more than I need, just in case if I make an error. And the paper that I'm using for the butterfly, it's a little bit of a stronger cardstock, but it doesn't have to be. And see here, I reached for my tape, and I'm gluing down the butterfly in the middle. Now later on, you will see I'm actually making go the long way. I made it go this way horizontal with the wings, but later on, I'm going to make it go the other way like the body would go, just to create a little bit of a better effect. And see, I offset my butterfly a little bit. Do you see that? Watch. Look how it worked. It is so cute. I really like this. I just thought this was so cute. Put some of these little note cards in lunch boxes for the kids, or put in your husband's pocket or something. But see, because I offset that last wing, you could see all the layers of the wing. So it looks like your butterfly has 3 wings. And you can keep that layered wing look. I thought it was kind of cute. So this is one of the reasons I'm offsetting the wing. So if you do happen to offset it, do it. If you don't, that's okay. See how the body would go? You can leave it on. You can take it off. Whatever. You know, and I'm like, yeah, we'll see. And here I punched another one earlier a little bit differently. See, look. Same paper, but where you're punching it is different. And don't go away, because I'm going to give you some ideas how you can decorate this and still make it look adorable. So here, I just took that punch. See, and I pressed it in there. And I wanted to make sure that you have enough room for the butterfly to be still placed on your project. And it was no problem. So it worked. So watch. I'm just taking my little antennae, my little feelers, and put it on the little butterfly. And again, I'm taping it twice because this card will be opened a bunch of times. Plus, when you're writing a message into it or something, you know, it's really sturdy. You want to make it sturdy. And I'm putting on another set of wings. And I'm using glue to keep everything really tightly sealed. Just a little glue. You don't have to over put it on your project. Just press it down and hold it. And you don't have to use the same supplies I'm using. You know, you certainly can use whatever you have at home. It's just the whole concept of something that'll open up. So you can do a heart and fold the heart in half and open it up. You could do a bug. You can do, maybe even a fairy and just, kind of, have her fold in half, depending on how your fairy looks. So don't limit yourself to what I'm doing here. Okay, see how I put the tape on? It's going the long way, how the body of the butterfly would go. And this really will make my butterfly wing open better. And those pieces won't stick together, so I can have it for the opening of that slit that I have on my card. And any extra piece that I have, I just fold it over to get a better hold. See, look at that. And you can actually color your butterfly. You could stamp your butterfly, hand color it. You can make your butterfly colored paper and your base card one color, but I didn't want to do too many colors on the butterfly because my paper is already pretty busy. I didn't want my butterfly to get lost in the project and people go, oh, where is that at? What's that thing? It just blends in. So you do want to make it pop so people can see how it works. See my pattern paper again? The pattern paper helps me. See that? There's that little flower. That's pretty much where the body of my butterfly is going. And again, don't forget, put your tape on your butterfly so you don't put your tape on the paper and accidentally it's too long. And then you glue your pieces of paper together and then your butterfly will not work to unfold. And again, I'm putting extra glue on just to make sure it seals really well. And then one last check just to make sure I didn't, miscalculate. There it is. Now I could have put the butterfly facing the other way towards me. You certainly may do that. Depends how your card is going to be. So what you will be writing on the inside of your card. So there are many varieties. You could put it perpendicular. You could put it horizontal. And you can certainly even make it diagonal if you want to. It just depends how you want your cards to look on this. And then I'm taking out my little flowers. And I'm just showing you again how you can embellish your card. And watch, I'm going to drop this in a second. Look at this. Look at my error. Watch. Up there. Well, I guess it's going to stay there. But what's nice with a butterfly wing opening, even if you happen to put your embellishment right underneath the wing, depending how big it is, it'll work. So don't try to reposition it. It went there. I dropped it. Oh, well. And I'm taking different colors of flowers because I wanted the colors to complement my base card. See, my base paper that I'm using here, my base card, the paper underneath those flowers, is really decorative. So I wanted to combine some of the embellishments, like the flowers here, for example, that are similar in color, but they do not clash. So I didn't want to go something super crazy colored because I didn't feel like it. But you can, you certainly can. You could put whatever colors you want on your paper. And if you don't have flowers, okay, what else can you put? Humor me. You could put on their ladybugs, like my nails, right? My ladybug nails, by the way, I love them. My daughter made those for me. She colored my nails. She used dip powder, and then she decorated it with the black. I don't even know what it was called. It was some special nail paint that she put on and hand painted, and then the little dots. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is so awesome. And she used gel. She's wonderful. She doesn't do that for a living, but she's awesome. So we always come up with different ideas because ever since I was a kid, I love to do my nails in different ways. And I have little gems on my pinky nail. That's why you could see if you sometimes look, my pinky nail looks a little bit more raised because that actually has little gems on it. But so you can decorate your project, with ladybugs, or double layer the flower like I did with the pink and the purple. You could certainly put on their little hearts. That would work. If, like, for example, you want to ask somebody to marry you, you could put little diamonds on there, little rings maybe as a hint. For St. Patrick's Day, you could put on their clovers. So there are so many different ideas you can do with this. You can certainly make the butterfly a big clover that opens up. So this is why my videos are concept ideas. See? And you could write your messages right there, just like so. Look at that. See how easy that is? And if the person gets this, on their desk or on their pillow, it just makes it so nice. And by the way, this is adorable little bow that I cut out. And you guys know I use a whole bunch of different things that I have at home and things that I buy. And this particular bow, it's a set of dies from Fawn. And Fawn has these amazing little things that, Kelly creates, and she's absolutely wonderful. So I love their products. And like I said, I combine things. So I don't necessarily just use one person's stuff. I use theirs, and I use some things that I create and I design. So I just love it. So here's this bow. It's super easy. You fold one side, and then you fold the other side over it. And with this glue, it holds so nicely. But you can use any glue, so you don't have to go out there and buy something and spend money if you don't have it. You could be frugal and still make some really fun projects. Look around the house. That's why you guys are artists and crafters. I'm sure you could pick something out and put it on there. You might even have a bow you've already, bought. You could stick that on or something else. But part of this bow also has the bottom portion of it. So I'm looking at it where I'm going to stick this. I'm like, I don't know about that. It's a little too busy. So remember this one that I made earlier? The one with the many wings of the butterfly. So I figured, well, this one would work. And you see in my card base, I have orange. So I made this a dark orange when I cut out this bow. See, and I'm opening up my little wings over there. My wings. Well, not my wings, the butterfly's wings. And I'm opening that up, and I'm kind of positioning where it's going to go. And I'm using the tape. I've always liked this tape. You guys see me use it a lot, and I have different widths of my tapes, but I like to use really good quality permanent tape. Makes your life easier. But as I was saying, so Fawn has all these different little projects that you can create with their ideas, or go on their YouTube channel or their videos or whatever. So I always encourage you guys to check out other artists and what they make. But part of this bow set is this one, just the bottom portion of the ribbon, the little bow. See? Look how cute that is. I've had a class way back when, and I demonstrated how you can use this bow in so many different ways and what you could do with it. And it certainly turned out absolutely wonderful. If I have a chance, maybe I'll make a video on that. But you certainly can just make cards out of different bows and how you're doing them. So anyways, here is the other one. Remember my very first one that I made? And I'm going to show you how to decorate that one too. This way it's going to give you some ideas. And we're not done, so just remember. So look at this one. I just took another scrap piece of paper and punched out my butterfly. And I thought, this is really cute, but why not have a couple on here? So as you're creating your project, you certainly can see what it needs based upon what your likes are and who you're going to give this to. When I make things, I always have someone in mind. So this is why I don't like to make the same thing over and over, and it becomes very decorative in my mind because I'm thinking of a person who would like this. And so when I was making these cards, I had some people in mind as I was creating them. Even though I kind of sit down in the beginning and I don't even know where I'm going to end up. I just make it as I feel. So it's almost like a live video, but not quite, because I will cut out the pauses or me getting up and, getting a tape, or I get a phone call and I have to stop for a minute. So, live it would be very different, but it's pretty close to it. I don't like to trim out a lot of things, so you can really, really enjoy and see how the project comes together. But see here, I had some people in mind. And I figured, oh, they like blue, they like the orange. I know who I have in mind for this. So there it is. And I'm just gluing these two little butterflies together. And as a concept idea, you can glue whatever pieces in whichever random way you want to. And see here, remember those pieces that I cut out for the slits? You can use those. You can glue them on just like how I am doing, or use them as a little base for sentiment. So you could put on there, I love you. You could put on there, have a great day. It's a sunny day. Have fun at your work. Hey, thank you for a wonderful day. Thanks for doing the dishes. You can do all these little things. You could put a little note card out for your kids or something. Say, kids, could you please help me out and clean your room today? And isn't this a nicer way of saying it? Or you did great with your homework, honey. I love you. Little things like that. Or tell Grandpa, thank you so much for making us a sandwich. Give one to your mom. Hey, the peanut butter and jelly was great. Appreciate it. These are always really cute, quick way of making them. And you can hand cut butterflies. You don't really need a punch. I just have one, so I'm using it. And I'm color coordinating. But you certainly can draw one, fold the paper in half, draw a butterfly wing on one side, and then cut it out. And then you have your butterfly opening. There are a lot of videos on those things, so I didn't bother making it. I figured I'll do something that's a little different. So here, remember the card that I had earlier that I made, and I was gluing all those wonderful embellishments on there, all the little flowers? Well, so look what I'm doing. Look how different it's going to look. See that one right there? Remember? We just did that. It wasn't long ago, I promise. So I'm just trimming up another piece of card for it, and I can cut pretty straight most of the time, so I'm not using any special trimmers, and you don't need to. It comes out just fine. And if you need a trimmer, use it. Use what you feel comfortable with. See? So watch. Look what I'm doing here. It's going to look different, and that blue is very complementary to the base card. It has different shades of blue in there. That's why I chose that color. And if it's going for a guy, or it's going for someone whose favorite color is a blue, it works. See, now look. You got to be careful with your punches, because if you go too thick on your paper, it can actually ruin your punch. So look what I'm doing here. I'm kind of looking where it's going to go, and I could feel it as I'm pressing down the punch that this would be a little too thick for me to press through. So watch. Here's a trick. Look at this. I'm using my nail to score. Look, boom. You see that? You see that little mark right there? And I'm just punching right where my scoring was. So you can use a pencil or just use your fingernail. Your fingernail is your friend. You can use it to mark things, put a little X on there, or here, that's what I did. I just made a line. And if you guys like my ideas and like my channel, I always am super happy when you guys are subscribing, and I appreciate that so much. It kind of motivates me to make more videos. So thank you for that. But see, look how easily it came out. I just scored it. Now, because my card has folded, and of course I freehanded it, and you see right there, you could see all the glue marks on that initial card base. The blue is a little bit off, and I'll show you what is going to be happening shortly. But I'm using the double-sided tape because I didn't want that paper to warp anymore because it already had the glue on it. And this is just regular paper, nothing specific. So I'm just adding on a little bit of double-sided tape. And I wanted to show you, some people just, use the tape all over the place and, a pound of tape goes on. I don't. I'm a little bit more frugal and thrifty. So I don't mind tearing my tape because it's something that, will work just fine. And you don't need to put a ton on it. When I was a kid, my family, we didn't have a whole lot at one time. And at one time we were blessed enough to have some more things. So I kind of learned what it was to be thrifty. So I learned not to waste things. And I also learned to appreciate what I had. So this is why when I use recycled items, or when I make things and redo things or repurpose, I guess this was embedded in me. I remember when as a kid I would go fishing and we'd have a fish and we would call the neighbors over and we'd be like, oh, this is a great, large piece of fish, my daughter got this, my mom would say, and everybody come on over. And it was wonderful because I ended up sharing, my mom ended up sharing, and it made such a great feeling. You had something small and you're able to give something away. And then when we didn't have something, it's amazing how the good Lord just provides. And the neighbor would be the same one we share the fish with, would say, hey, I got a little piece of, pork or a little beef or whatever. I'm making soup. You guys want some? So it always worked out, I think God is amazing, and He just helps us in ways that sometimes are stunning. So this is why I've always worked with recycled material and used things even before recycling was very popular. So back to the card here. Sorry, I'm yakking away. You could certainly fast forward this, but that was pretty much for the story. But you see how right here, when I was telling you that my paper is a little bit off, well, I can certainly see that. So you can trim it with your trimmer. If you have a trimmer, or if you initially used something else, you can clean it up. And the little piece of paper that's coming out, it's no big deal. Fold it back or trim it off. You can leave it on. It's a handmade card. So if it has imperfections, it's okay. It's not factory made. That's what makes it unique. So this is what I was saying, that the blue was off a little bit and I had to trim it a little bit up. But you see, it looks kind of cute. It creates that extra effect. And see, the little piece, I could put it on there and add a sentiment, but I didn't want to do the blue on blue here. And I'm certainly doing a little bit of a different idea. But even though you're using the same paper, look at this. It's really, really different. And you can add your notes there or there. And, look, I just thought these were so adorable. And so you can literally give this to your family members and do the same concept, and everyone has something different. So they're not saying, oh my goodness, you made like 10 of these cards and we're all getting the same thing. You're like, nope, it's different. And see, look, I decided I'm going to make some more of these and use up my extra piece of paper, just so I don't have to worry about tossing it away. I don't like to throw things away that I know I'm going to be using. So, like I said, I was recycling different things before it was even popular, and using it in different ways. And sometimes I have so much creativity in my head, I don't know what to do with it. But look how cute that is. I just thought that was absolutely adorable to put little lines here and there. And there's no reason to the rhyme. It's your art, so you can put things anywhere you want to. And I'm going to show you shortly how I'm going to decorate those flowers. So stay tuned. We're still not done. I figured with all these different ideas, you certainly might create something of your own that is going to motivate you and make you create something that you enjoy. To me, art and crafting, it's personal. It's very relaxing. I don't smoke and I don't drink. So to me, this is my way of having a relaxing moment and kind of creating my own little projects and take my time for me and my little personal time, and therefore I'm sharing it with you. when we were able to. We had crafting parties, and I would cook for everybody, and we get together, and we'd have like a buffet style of meal, and we would eat for hours and hours and craft for hours. And some days we get together and literally craft for 2-3 days. And those of you, my friends who are watching this and you were there, you know it. And I miss you. I love you guys. And I hope we could do this very soon, because certainly it's time for that. So all of you who are at my crafting parties, hugs to everybody. And all of you who are new to my channel and you only get to see it live, well, thank you very much as well. And live, I mean like this kind of live, because like I said, I'm kind of creating this as I'm going along, kind of like at my crafting parties. And it was always such a joy to have my friends over. So those of you who are joining me here on this video and watching this, I'm so happy. So thank you for that. So here, you see, I have different material that I'm using here. And you can use different products. Depends on their drying time and your patience. How soon do you want it to dry? I have a lot of patience, so even if I happen to use a product that takes 2 days to dry, depending on how thick I put it on, I'm okay with it. Unless, of course, I have to make a card that is needed like now. But you see, you can add cute little centerpieces for your flowers. And while this is wet, of course, I've mentioned it before, on wet items like this, you can certainly add a little piece of glitter, which is glitter dust. I didn't do that. I didn't feel like glittering this one up. I wanted to make it non-glittery. And I always have my handy dandy little wiping, napkins or paper towels. So see, I can immediately clean off the tips. This is how you prevent them from clogging. And of course, you want to make sure you cap them right away. And you can shake them towards the bottom. Like, for example, as you're putting and squeezing the material on your project, you can shake it downward, but you don't want to pre-shake before you apply it. These really don't want to work when you pre-shake them, because you create air bubbles in the middle. And for some reason, when you do use them later on, they kind of spit. So you will have an air bubble spit all over your project with some glitter or something like that. And it won't look good. Well, it might. You could fix it. You could fix anything. You could tap on top, like I'm doing here. And I didn't want to cut this out because I'm sure you guys have run into the situation where it's not coming out of the bottle. So just tap it on the other end. See, and this is what I was mentioning, that you can decorate your bow different ways. You can emboss it. You could stamp your bow, hand draw. You could put a message on your bow. You could put these little dots like with these materials over here. Just a lot of ways you can decorate your bow. And again, I'm using colors that are part of the base card. And see, I just thought this was such a fun project to make with the family, or, with just about anyone. I mean, this is so creative. Just put all your little crafting embellishments together, or cut out little flowers or hand make your flowers and say, "Hup, there it is, and it's in a box." And we're just going to fold a couple of cards, put some openings on them and little wings for the butterflies, and you're done. See, so here I go. You see my little sentiment? I could just write on there. Look at that. And I just put hello, and I put a little heart. See that? It's just large enough to write something. And look, I got all these little cards here, and they're different. You guys, thank you for staying in tune over here and watching my ideas. And again, thank you for your support, your subscriptions, and write your messages on your cards, create your art, enjoy what you're making. And remember, you guys can do anything you'd like and use your own creativity, because it's your art. And see, like with these, they open up, they close. It's going to be open dozens of times. And you can get very creative. And like how I did this video, I never even knew what the ending will be. I just kind of made it along the way. Some parts of the butterflies have little body parts, some don't. You can leave them on, you can leave them off. Use those pieces that I showed you earlier. I think I got those at either Michael's or Joann's. You can find them online. There's anything and everything online nowadays. But if you don't have them, just cut them out of paper. You don't need to buy things. You can make your own things your own way. See? Just like so. Just always remember, whenever you make something, make it with a lot of love. That's the most important part. Create them, enjoy them, and give them away. And see that one right there? Remember the one with the blue? The whole concept is the same idea, and yet they all look different. And this is pretty much as close as I get to making something that looks similar. Because I would get too bored to make the same thing over and over. And so you can use those different products for embellishments. Whatever you guys have at home, anything, it works. You can use that glue or a different glue. And your double-sided tape. So I'm kind of recapping here what I was using, just in case if you happen to fast forward at all and only popped in towards the end. And regular cards, you know, any size. And the punches, or just hand cut them. Write your messages. You can even put a message inside on a separate sheet of paper, sideways, any ways you want to. There's plenty of room to write. Remember, guys, share the love, pass it on, be happy, and thank you so much again for joining me. You guys have an awesome day. Bye.